Welcome, I'll be reacting to Space 1999, Year 2, Episode 3. This is not a market substitute, please support the original.
Calling Moonbase Alpha by neutrino transmission.
Where from?
Don't know. It's no random transmission. They're calling us.
This is Space Station 1, Texas City, planet Earth. I repeat.
What?
This is Space Station 1.
We've been in space for months.
Which in Earth terms is decades.
Right.
So it could be Earth.
A galactic eclipse will cut our communication channel to you. But in that time, if you can act quickly enough, we are capable of transferring you back to Earth.
How?
If you put yourselves completely in our hands.
I don't trust them at all. That's not Earth. It's not them. Wizard's first rule, for anyone who's read the Sword of Truth series: people will believe something if they want it to be true, or if they fear it to be true. In this case, they want it to be true.
Could be. If that's really a transmission from Earth.
Koenig and I think alike. Much darker lighting than usual in this episode.
What was the name of the wife of the first man in space?
The first man in space was the Russian Yuri Gagarin. He was unmarried. The first married man in space was the American Alan Shepard, May 5th, 1961.
I know, but what if they simply had access to Earth's databases? He needs to ask them something that would not likely be easy to find quickly. Something someone on Earth would know, but probably wouldn't be written down somewhere, that a database would likely have.
This was the last time the Red Sox won the series before all competitive sports were abandoned in the year 2026. How about the Transference Dome?
No more sports in 2026? What happened?
Wowee. Hey.
I don't trust it. This is Victor's lab. I miss Victor. He always runs around with that little cup. Does he keep it in his pocket? Oh, it's a still. Got it.
Wow. That is
Moonshine.
fantastic.
You're right. It doesn't have any effect at all.
All I
Maya.
wanted was an honest opinion.
I've seen her in something before.
And Grand Metropolis. What you used to know as Boston. New York.
Oh, Metropolis? Really?
The cities are fantastic. What about the countryside?
Nobody lives there now. The pollution of the 21st century. It destroyed everything. Trees.
Sorry about that.
Now, of course, who needs nature?
I do.
On an ascending scale of 10, I'd say that you'd reach maybe...
4.
2?
Oh, ooh.
You know your problem. You got no taste, kid.
With this recorder, we can follow the readings all the way to Earth.
It's like a mouth.
Heart rate normal. Body temperature normal.
Sorry, Tony. You're in command of Alpha now. Let's go.
At least it's a clear chain of command this time.
Fly me from the moon at last.
Carter.
Let Alpha be my long-lost past.
Oh
6.
no.
High seismic activity.
5.
Location.
Gulf of
4.
Mexico.
They're going to end up somewhere random.
Are they still there? They got to be there, Alfred.
Wait, they said there was no nature. But this is the woods.
Helen. Helen, you all right?
Oh, Carter.
Helen? Yeah.
We're reading them. They're somewhere in space. You've got to find them.
Oh, good old fire starting. Is she okay though?
John, you're gonna need that yourself.
Now we'll all... Can't you see she's feeling cold?
Oh.
Well, now you can see why I got drummed out of the Boy Scouts.
At least she was wearing her pants and not her skirt. Those look like Vikings or Saxons. Could they be in a different time?
Atmosphere, rain, birds.
What if they're in the past?
Chances are there's going to be some kind of intelligent life form, too.
Haha! Yes! Grab a branch. This is the content I'm here for.
According to this readout, they're somewhere on Earth.
We still have time to send some of you back down to Earth. If anybody wants to try it.
No, thank you.
I think you look great.
Yes, she does.
Another monster.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you, Carter.
Pneumonia.
If we were an alpha, it would be so simple.
Think like Claire, Helena. What can you find here that's the equivalent? I just started reading Outlander. Book 1. She had just arrived in the 18th century, totally fish out of water, and she was like, what can I use? And ended up on garlic in one scene to boil that to put on Jamie's wound. You gotta use what you have here. Is there anything that's sort of 14th century equivalent?
Is that a fungus? Scrape some of that off.
Here we go. Fungus. Now she's getting it. Yes! Terrible circumstances, but I'm kind of happy.
What is it, Helen?
It's the moon.
Helena, we've left
The moon is here. It is back in time.
It's a moon, Helena, but it's not our moon.
I think it is.
This planet can have 6 or 7 moons.
Listen to Helena. I thought season 2 was supposed to be bad.
Okay, if this is Earth, where on Earth? And when?
Somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, the people seem European.
Well, they can't all be malfunctioning at the same time.
A message.
It's Alpha, trying to make contact.
So you're the English fugitives who thought to cheat me of a fat ransom.
They would not speak modern English like that. It would sound more like this. We find a passage. No Jesus fjord hider on urne yard inbekommen.
Why do 3 English travel Scotland without armed escort? You must know you make fair hostages to any Scottish clan.
But why aren't they speaking Gaelic?
Would you believe we lost our way?
No, my friends. With the last flicker of that candle, the old year runs out.
So they're in Scotland for Hogmanay.
Hamigold, Joslanche, Rianur.
There we go.
I learned your tongue as Chief Castellan for the English prisoners after our victory at Bannockburn.
Robert Bruce.
Le Robert Bruce, agus Blar, Altavonich, Robert Bruce and Bannockburn.
Yeah.
Robert Bruce and Bannockburn.
Bannockburn. When was the battle fought? Bannockburn.
1314, I think.
I can't remember. Give us some shelter where she can rest. Put some guards on it if you like.
The plague?
I understand now. The lady has the plague.
Uh-huh.
Galavage! Lushkenenish! Gawana Beasley!
We're getting something on the indicators.
Morse code.
It's the old Morse code.
Morse code?
An old form of signal. We used to learn it as astronaut cadets.
They're gonna think it's witchcraft.
Goodbye, Texas City. Thanks anyway.
At least they know Earth is vaguely alright. I mean, there's still some people alive.
On your scale of 1 to 10, where are you now?
3?
Yeah, would you believe still 2? Sure, we could have caught the massacre of St. Bartholomew, the Spanish Inquisition, the retreat from Moscow, the sinking of the Titanic, the storming of the Bastille.
Okay.
The London Blitz.
Okay, you win.
I was just so suspicious of the Texas group the whole time because they just didn't seem like they were on the level. But I think they actually were genuinely from Earth. It is odd that they only now managed to contact Alpha and then miraculously had this long distance transporter. I think that felt like enough of a stretch to me that I was instantly suspicious. Like, seems too good to be true. But I think their hearts were in the right place, and they did manage to track down the missing group and got them home. I thought it was a great twist that they ended up in the wrong time. I think the only thing I really objected to there was it got a little bit melodramatic towards the end, and then the modern English was a little bit of a stretch there. They could have at least had him speaking Middle English. I don't have any of my 14th century books with me here at this location, but I do have some. And although the English was slightly more advanced than Old English, it's still not Shakespearean language yet. So that, if you've read Shakespeare, has a lot of differences, but it's still pretty understandable to the modern ear. So this is like a few steps before that, where you can kind of pick out a word here and there as a modern English speaker, but you won't be able to follow the whole thing without extra training. I would have appreciated it if they had taken the time to translate all of his lines into an English appropriate for the time period, maybe tweaking it just slightly so that we could kind of figure out what he was saying, maybe adding subtitles. That would have been a way around it for a modern audience, of having him speaking the original English of the time period and then subtitling it for viewers. I've seen that done on other shows, and it makes for a much more immersive experience than simply having him speaking 21st century, well, 20th century in this case, English. All of that being said, I thought it was so much fun as an episode. And I loved the fact that we got to see Koenig and Helena just openly together, finally. I would say that this episode is much more Xena level, right? I mean, very fun, not entirely grounded anymore like Year One was, but still a really good show. Obviously, this is only the third episode, but I think it's my favorite out of the 3 so far.